Aloha, I'm Kimo Hussey, and this is my very, very good friend, Eric DeVine. And what we'd like to do is share with you several surprises. And what we're going to do is start with this ukulele. More often than not, when we think of things musical, we think of the musician, the player of the instrument. And what I like to do is just in silence share this ukulele with you, and we'll go into more detail in a few minutes. So here we go. And we want to go nice and slow, because when we go nice and slow, it provides you opportunity to be better able to see this ukulele. And we don't absolutely expect that you will take in everything there is to take in about this ukulele, but that will come in due time. And now that we've made a complete revolution, let me say that let us continue in silence as I share silently, as best I can, the sound of this ukulele. So, again, this is my good friend Eric DeVine, and we've got several surprises here for you. And all of the surprises we have to do with this ukulele, because this ukulele represents a 20th anniversary edition of Eric's work as a builder. And so we have several guests who represent different aspects of ukulele, from the building standpoint, from the playing standpoint, from the teaching standpoint. But we first want to get from you, Eric, a description of this ukulele. Would you like to hold it, or would you like me to?
Sure. Well, this got it.
Okay.
Got it, yeah. First of all, it is a tenatone ukulele. Which, if you're not familiar with, is a concept that Kimo and I had kind of worked on together over the years, kind of bridging the gap between a tenor and a baritone, while still retaining the standard GCEA tuning. Little bit.
So one of the big things about a tenatone is sound.
Yes, yeah. Designed for more volume, more sustain, just a bigger sound overall.
And pitch-wise, the sound is between a baritone and a tenor.
Well, designed for the same tuning, the same pitch. But as you've discovered, playing down in other tunings works extremely well.
One of the things I like about it is that I've always enjoyed mellowness. And so if you get too mellow, what happens is chords sound kind of muddy. So by mellowing down a tenor a little bit and maybe brightening up from a baritone, removes all of that muddiness, which is great.
The perfect balance of the two.
Sorry to interrupt, buddy.
Hey.
Okay, keep going. You're on a roll.
So when I built this, or was getting ready to start building this, I really wanted to do something special for this instrument, being that it was celebrating 20 years of building. So I'd had this this set of koa stashed away for a long time that I had intended to build something for myself. I was kind of saving it for down the road when I eventually would build something that I would keep. But as I was kind of looking through, deciding, I thought it was just it was fitting to use this set for this instrument. It has kind of a perfect balance of all the aspects that you want in good koa for instrument grade. A little bit larger pore structure, a nice light weight, nice blonde color. I've been sitting on it for at least 15 years, so it's well seasoned material as well, and obviously quite beautiful. As I was doing the design, I wanted to also tie in a extremely curly neck as well, which matches pretty seamlessly with the color and tone and weight, pore structure as well of the body. You'll notice the inlay, which is probably one of the most noticeable parts of the instrument. Went back and forth on a lot of different designs to find something that fit for this instrument. And I needed something that was going to be exciting enough to look at, but still remain elegant and understated.
Elegant's a great word.
Yeah. Didn't want it to overpower the instrument with the inlay. So all of the purfling around the edge, all the leaves are all green opal, inlaid with some boxwood for the vine. And then one of the more special parts is for the fret markers are 8 Zambian emeralds, brilliant cut emeralds, which are set in platinum sleeves.
Did you have to shape each of those opal leaves individually?
Yeah, it's quite time consuming.
Wow, good for you.
And so the emerald and platinum is traditional for a 20th anniversary. Which
I didn't know that.
I had actually, Randy was the one that initially was like, "Oh, you should do
maybe
emeralds or something." And then as I researched it a little bit, I realized that that's actually the 20th anniversary material. So that kind of made the choice for us.
One of the things about the emerald that has to do with this ukulele is it contributes magnificently to the looks of the ukulele. You mentioned earlier the word balance. From a player standpoint, the 3 main things that a player always needs to look for is looks, playability, which is action, and sound. And having looked at the instrument and played it and experienced its action, I can say to you that you did a magnificent job balancing all 3 of those things.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a lot of considerations for anytime you're going to use a koa neck, which obviously koa is a little heavier than mahogany. You want to be careful about selecting material that's light enough so you don't end up top heavy, as well as your tuner selection, which here we used Roberts tuners, which are renowned as the best tuners available, and this was a special design that I had him do for me, which is brass body, but then he nickel plated the inset area in there, so it has a nice silver and gold kind of attribute to it, and it's a lighter weight tuner as well, so helps with the balance.
It would be You know, it'd be wonderful to buy this instrument just so a person can sit and look at it, let alone play it. Anyway, one of the things that I really like and I think is unique about the greenness of the ukulele is that I'm not accustomed to seeing green on an ukulele, but on this one it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it just kind of brings a little bit of nature into it.
Yeah, and one of the things I appreciate about the looks of this ukulele is that it's the overall effect of it is wonderful. There's nothing about this ukulele that jumps right out at the person and says, "Hey, look at me," or "Experience me," because that is distracting.
Yeah,
I think so. Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can we talk about something else?
You bet.
Okay. Let me hold this. And what I want to do is, just listen to another chord again. Anyway, let's talk about you. Like we mentioned, this is a celebration of Eric's 20th anniversary as a builder. So let's talk about the history, your history. So how did all of this start 20 years ago?
Well, it's been I'm not actually sure where the years went.
It's kind of like it was last week,
I
right?
know, right?
It started.
Well, I had, just kind of, I'll sum it up and keep the story a little bit shorter, but had built my first guitar and built my first guitar and really just got hooked. I mean, even before I had the first one finished, I kind of just knew that that's what I was going to be doing. So
right. So your first instrument was a guitar.
Was a guitar, yeah, a classical guitar. And
was that the 20 years ago, or did we start ukuleles 20 years ago?
That was my first guitar was 20 years ago.
That was the beginning.
Yeah, back in 2001. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I immediately finished that one and started building 3 more guitars and a uke at the same time directly after that. And
what was it about? Was it about the uke at that time that made you include it in your build or batch or whatever you're doing?
I had already been out in Hawaii for a number of years at that point and always loved the uke and played uke quite a bit in those days as well. And it was kind of just a natural progression and they're just a little bit more portable and they're just a fun instrument to play, and definitely done a lot of both, but have definitely done more ukes than guitars over the years, which led into having great customers like yourself. That was you were my very first commission. Really? To do a custom, well,
whatever prompted that, hey, good for us.
I know. It must have stuck, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you started with the guitar and then included ukuleles. In the 20-year period, what are some of the I will say more important things that you have learned, not only about the technical aspects of building ukulele, but what it's like to be a builder by profession? What have been the big lessons learned?
Well, I mean, it's like banging your head up against a wall for one. Anybody that wants to be wealthy, I wouldn't recommend Lutherie as a career. It's a lot of hours, and it's a lot of fun though. I mean, it's it's a constant thirst for knowledge, and constantly trying to improve on what you're doing every single time, and always being challenged to come up with new ideas and new creativity, and always just moving forward, which is what I love about it.
Well, I agree 100% with you from the standpoint of being a player, including the economic rewards of being a player. But what made you stick with it, especially in the first years, which I assume were pretty lean years for you?
Yeah, the first couple of years I was still working a day job. For I think about the first 2 years before I was able to, I had enough orders accumulated and felt safe enough to make that jump. Of course, I was also my, 20s, which is a little easier to do, to take those leaps.
20s, boy, I don't know if I can think that far back.
But yeah, it turns into kind of just reached that point where I was able to make that jump into it.
So here we are today, and in the next 10 days, as far as some of us are concerned, we're here to celebrate your 20th anniversary. But as you consider, like next week and the week after, when 20th anniversary is done, it is history. What kinds of things go through your mind in terms of what you'd like to learn, to do anything differently?
Onwards and upwards. Kind of like I said, that's the best thing about it is just the constant forward movement. And it's not necessarily forward movement in large jumps. Anything super radical. It's refining techniques, refining cleanliness, being more efficient with things, as well as kind of some more community-based stuff, like with Manalo, and these organizations and UGG and all these great people that we have, that are our ohana.
Your market, is it mostly in Hawaii?
No, in fact, Hawaii is really only a small portion of my market. Really all over the world. You name it.
How did these people come to find you?
Just kind of word of mouth, and
good for you.
A lot of seeing you playing the instruments. That definitely sends a few people my way.
I consider it an honor to play these instruments, because one of the things about high quality instruments is that they're easier to play. And because they're easier to play, the music comes out better.
And that's more fun.
When the music comes out better, it's much, much more fun.
Agreed.
So cool. That's a great history. And throughout the next 10 days, we'll be doing things that highlight this instrument, because it's a 20th anniversary instrument. And we'll also do some things to highlight you and your talent. So we're going to move on and do another interview. But before we do that, I want to just give you one last opportunity to listen to this beautiful, beautiful instrument. Beautiful work.